Welcome back. We got Kimi K2.5, which is the model that just took the AI open source crown, and also comes with a badass mode called Agent Swarm, which basically just means that it can work faster on one project and can spawn 100 sub-agents executing parallel and can work 4 times 5 faster, I guess. Very cool, but it's not like better output, just you can work on one project more, which I imagine is gonna be more and more relevant as you kind of trapped into that situation where you have like 10 things open and you're kind of like making progress, but it's kind of slow. Almost certainly you can make progress. You can work faster on your own without, or maybe like a little bit with AI. But if you just prompt AI, then it's gonna be a little bit slower. And intelligence-wise, they're kind of positioning it against Gemini 3 Pro, right? And we're gonna see some other benchmarks too. But the interesting part is that it's a very agentic model. So in that category, it's actually very much competing with the top dogs here. And image and video-wise also, it's very comparable. And apparently they are highly featuring this coding with vision capability. Essentially just means that it's good at UI things. So you can make websites, and maybe web devs won't like me saying this, but I say that it's been solved, and it's been solved for a long time now, that you can just make good UI, you can make good websites with it, and it's not something that you do manually anymore. Nor have I done for a while. Although, you still need to have some kind of an eye for UX and UI. So that is not going away, I would say, because AI can make some silly choices. So it's more about the decisions and less about the grunt work, which really aligns with my macro style. And apparently AI can find itself out of this maze too, which just is completely irrelevant for us, but what it shows that it is detailed. And we got the Agent Swarm mode, very badass, and basically means that they have an orchestrator that opportunistically spawns sub-agents to speed up the execution of the task. And I tried to do this before, and I did not bake in the orchestrator. My orchestrator was separate, but it led to some conflict, so possibly even leads to loops. But this is a different approach. So instead of having an orchestrator that calls different models, or possibly the same model for different tasks, you actually have the orchestrator built into the agent. So I guess we'll see. But also, this is not exactly like my idea, because this is just reducing end-to-end runtime. So this is just speeding things up. So basically, this is a 5x speed boost to whatever token speed they can actually give you. And this is truly the most relevant metric here, that when you start out, it might be okay, but as you scale up, as you work on bigger projects, the time can be really ridiculous, especially with very, very smart models. You could be just asking a question and like, you're just straight up walking away. If you're just watching that, you're completely wasting your time, I can tell you. And you come back like 40 minutes later and like, it's still not done. And it might not be even making changes. It's just looking around and maybe thinking about things and maybe making a change there and here. Like kind of showcasing it with like 100 bots getting some information from YouTube. This is not that great of a showcase, but I guess it's just built into the model, right? But also, let's get a second opinion on this Kimi, and we see that it's taking 4th place, which is not too bad at all, in intelligence. Kind of positioning between Pro and Flash. But this is a little bit misleading, because this model is also more featureful. Although, it kind of depends on which features you care about, I suppose. But the main notable feature here is how agentic it is. And this is partly the reason, or possibly mainly the reason, why Claude Opus is enjoyed by the people, because it kind of flows better than Gemini Pro and Gemini Flash, which are scoring much lower, right? Apparently, Mimo Flash is more agentic than the Gemini Pro. And this essentially means that you're gonna be confused if you're working with it, like, why are you doing that? You're just kind of going off track, or just like, it's gonna be like a do this, do that. at least more so than with more agentic models. So actually, what matters here? Because like, okay, let's see here. So we can see that Claude Opus is a little smarter. At one point, this website said that Gemini 3 was smarter, but whatever. So Claude Opus is apparently a little smarter than Gemini 3 Pro, but also a lot more agentic, right? It kind of flows better. Well, the Geminis seem close intelligence-wise, and they look good on the benchmarks. But when it comes to actual getting work done, then you might not feel it, right? You might not feel it. It's just gonna be like, oh, I got stuck, or I got confused. At least more so than at least I guess the top two here, which would be Claude Opus and GPT 5.2. Another interesting metric here is that the GDP eval, which is kind of like a rough or relative, just estimated economic value of this agent, of how much it could be capable of. And GPT 5.2 and Claude Opus is leading, but Kimi 2.5 is third place. And this is not random here. It is highly correlated to the agentic capabilities. And also, you can go hands-off more with agentic models. So Opus might just, maybe not as smart, but like, well, it's second place. Come on. Opus is super smart, but it's also kind of flows well. But I also keep seeing this, that the open source and the Chinese models tend to go for value and kind of like work. Although you can argue that work kind of, they both go for that, but value definitely more so. But some providers definitely go for the trying to look good on the benchmark ranking. But of course, we cannot just look at their scores. And whatever you're getting needs to be compared to what are you actually paying for it. And this is a very interesting graph we have here, is how much artificial analysis is spending to run the benchmarks. And if you used GPT 5.2, this is so accurate. It spends so much time thinking, and the output is good, but it's not a fast model by any means. You might be able to get like 10 changes in throughout the day with it. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. Well, interestingly, Claude Opus might spend less time thinking, more time actually just charging you input tokens. But of course, the important contender here is Kimi K2. Oh no, actually this version, Kimi K2.5. And yeah, I'm not sure I can put them into categories really. Unless you're going for the I don't care about money tier, or you know, something like Minimax M 2.1 or DeepSeek 3.2 or Mimo Flash. These are very good value models. Then arguably, Kimi is the best option now. I guess it's still competing with Gemini Flash and maybe Gemini Pro. Kind of depends. It is close, right? It is close in price. It's a bit positioned awkwardly, because if you don't care about intelligence that much, then you might just go and use cheaper models. But if you do care, then you might use more expensive models. So seemingly the closest relative to Kimi would be Gemini Flash. And Kimi would be if Gemini Flash flowed better and also worked 3 times faster, right? And all it costs like a little bit more to do that, but also it's a little smarter too, so I guess it kind of balances out. But also the question I would ask is that what if you don't need tippy-top intelligence? Because for a long while, AI was in that category where like, is it even useful or was it not useful? I think that is relatively gone now, that era. AI is useful. That is obvious. And if you don't want to like GPT 5.2 always, then the question is, what model you're picking, right? What is the choice? And if you're not picking the tippy-top guy, then you're probably picking Kimi, maybe Gemini Flash, although that doesn't flow as well, so you might as well just go with Kimi all the way. I guess Minimax is a worthy option for its discount, or you can go with DeepSeek or Mimo. So those are decent options. But even price aside, and lately I was more thinking about this with GPT-5 codex. I had time while GPT 5.2 was taking his. And to be fair, I love it. That it just takes so much thinking that the result is going to be probably okay, right? But this essentially means that you go at the speed of AI, which might be fast-ish, just one AI working on one thing, and that is as fast as you can go. But then you might realize, like, come back like half hour later, like, oh yeah, I prompted you and you kind of misunderstood me. I guess I'm going to prompt you again, like you were just going off on a tangent. So I don't know. So essentially what I'm saying is that this Kimi model is kind of optimizing more for just getting work done fast. Or at least faster. Which, just to use my personal experience, a recent one, is that I say that Gemini Free Flash is better than Gemini Free Pro. But why? Why would I say this? Is because the Gemini Free Pro is giving you like 110 tokens per second, while Gemini Free Flash is giving you 160. So essentially, you can iterate, you can work 50% faster, at the cost of losing a little bit of intelligence, perhaps. If that even matters for that particular task, which it may not. So Kimi is kind of positioning to be an option that is 3 times faster than Flash, while flowing as well as Opus, based on the agentic index here. But I guess this just needs to be felt. Their site does have features that you would expect. I'm not gonna go over it because you've presumably seen it before. Not theirs, but the exact same features. Other than that, the noteworthy part is that they are selling a monthly sub to their API with some use. I have to say, unfortunately, that I don't like this. Extended agent quota. I say this as someone who got screwed so many times. This might be legally clever, but also it's a complete nothing burger. Because what am I paying for here? If you say like, you get like 500 requests every 5 hours, 100%. No weekly with no nonsense, you're just gonna get it. But no, this is just try to be clever, and then you gonna get a weekly limit on you, and you gotta get like, it's not guaranteed. You might, maybe sometimes you're gonna get like 5, other times you might get like 50 or something. So essentially it's just another deal that I'm giving them money and they give me whatever they feel like giving me. So this is not great. There's some annual discount, and of course we can try it for 7 days free. We might just do that. Maybe it's gonna be cool for a project. And of course they are kind of tempting me into this Kimi code, $30 a month with 3.5x quota. But of course that depends on the moderator quota, which we don't know. So that line is completely meaningless. But it's at least an API you subscribe to, instead of some kind of a locked-in thing where that is the only way to use your sub, or you just have to pay as you go for their API. So that is about it. Their price is 0.6 N, only a little bit more expensive than Flash. I cannot tell you if their sub is a good deal. They cannot figure out it either. And it is up there, so you can download this and theoretically run it, but it is big, so I'm not even sure what you would need. But it's still cool to see out there. So that's it.